Welcome to Analog Integrated Circuits Design class, and this is your ninth lecture on Unit 5. We are discussing about active filters. In the previous classes, we started our discussion with passive filters, then active filters, and we did both first order as well as second order, passive and active. And in today's class, so in the last class, we looked at one active filter. We called it as Salen and Key, proposed by Salen and Key, and we saw the low pass version and high pass version of the same. Today we will look at another filter. Again, this is a second order filter, but this is having some more features when we compare that to Salen and Key, and this is called as integrator based biquad. So I'll tell you why this is called as integrator based biquad. So before that, I remember one of you asked yesterday, how will you identify the type of filters from the transfer function or with the expressions, right? Right. So one easy way is, so whatever transfer function you have, you can substitute the value of s as s equal to 0 or s equal to infinity, and you can look at the value of the transfer function. Say for example, when you put s is equal to 0, you are getting the transfer function value as 0, and when you are substituting s equal to infinity, if you are getting a transfer function value which is like a constant value or some values, if you are getting, you can identify it as a high pass filter. Right. Similarly, if it is a band pass, you will get 0 at both lower and higher frequency, and low pass it is a value will be available at low frequency but 0 at the high frequency. So that is one way to identify. So I'll give you that. I can brief it here so that you will be able to identify with the transfer function itself. So what I'm going to do now is, we know that, or this is what the transfer function we wrote. First, we wrote a general transfer function, and then later for second order filters, we wrote in this way. If you remember, it is b2s square plus b1s plus b naught divided by s square plus omega naught by q into s plus omega naught square. So this is the transfer function. Now, what we can do with this is, so I'll give you some typical cases. Say for example, let us take the case 1 where you have b2 equal to, sorry, b2 equal to 0 and b1 also equal to 0. So your b2 and b1 both are equal to 0. If these two coefficients are equal to 0, I can write the transfer function h of s as b naught divided by s square plus omega naught by q into s plus omega naught square. So by looking at the transfer function, can you tell me what type of response can you expect from this? Certain times we can look at the number of poles and then we can comment. Yeah, so what is your thought? Like what do you think? What kind of transfer function will you get, or what kind of response will you get? Yes, Bhuvan. It is a low pass filter response, right? So this will result in a low pass filter response. How you will check that is by substituting a value, s equal to 0 or s equal to infinity. That is one way. Or the other way is, you can look at, there are only two poles coming in. So there is no chance of actually having a increasing slope, right? So the only possible, there are two poles, and the only possibility is like you will have a slope of minus 20 dB per decay. The only thing is where the poles will be at two different locations. So in that way, we can say that this is a low pass filter. So whenever you encounter a transfer function of this form, you can straight away say that this is a low pass filter. Similarly, so these are general forms. So there is another, what I'll do is I'll just take b1 equal to 0 and b0 also equal to 0. So that means you have only b2 as a coefficient. So you will get b2 s square divided by the same denominator. So can you tell me what is the transfer function you can get out of this when you have a transfer function of this form? Any guess? Okay, how it is a band pass? So if it is, if I say that the system is a band pass, then at s equal to 0 and s equal to infinity, at both points, you should get an h of s as 0. Will you get that here? You have s square, s square. If I cancel, I'll get 1s in the denominator here. Let me just take the cursor. Yeah. So if you cancel s square, you will have 1s in the denominator here and 1s square here. So when you put s equal to 0, 1 by 0 is infinity, and you will get 0, this, right? Now when you put s is equal to infinity, sorry, when you put s equal to infinity, still you will have a term there, that is b2 by 1, or b2 will be the term. Yes. So this is a high pass filter. This is not a band pass filter, because at s equal to infinity you are uh, not getting a zero transfer function. So it is a high pass filter. And one more case is case 3, which is when you substitute b2 equal to 0, which is equal to b0. When both b2 and b0 equal to 0, then your transfer function will be equal to b1s divided by s square plus omega naught by q into s plus omega naught square, right? So if this is the case, this will result in, yeah, I think you can check this. When you put s equal to 0 and s equal to infinity, you will see that the transfer function value is also equal to 0, and this is a band pass response, band pass filter response, right? So this is one way. And the band reject filter of the other type is not specifically derived out of this. So generally when we design band reject filter, we have separate architecture. We call something called as notch filter in order to kick out single frequencies. Like it is a band reject, right? So generally it is to reject a specific band. So band reject filter is typically of this form, and we do arrive at that with some special other techniques. So that is not included. That is not included in this. In this, all right. So this is how generally, from looking at the transfer function, you can comment on low pass, high pass, or band pass. Do you have any questions? Can I get some response in the chat? Is this clear, or you have any questions? All right. Okay, Akash. Okay, fine. Now, moving on to the topic what I have mentioned before, we will look at one specific type of filter. It is called as integrator based biquad. This is otherwise called as KHN biquad. So this is otherwise called as KHN biquad. Now, this KHN name has come from the people who are behind this. So there are three people. One is Kervin, one is Hulsman, and another one is called as Newcomb. So, and hence we call it as KHN biquad. Then now, why the question of biquad is, so generally the function of this form, where you have a function of this form, is called as biquadratic transfer function. And the function of first order, if you remember, I think I didn't mention that there. One second, let me go back to the general transfer function. Yeah, the function of this form is called as bilinear function. This is bilinear, and when you have this s square term, we call it as biquadratic transfer function. And now this filter, what we are going to study now, which is integrator based biquad, is based on the biquadratic equation what we have seen just now. That is, h of s is equal to b2s square plus b1s plus b naught divided by s square plus omega naught by q into s plus omega naught square. So this is the transfer function. Right now, our discussion is based on this transfer function. This is, since this is called as biquadratic, we call this filter also as biquad filter. Now this biquad filter, so why the name integrator based is because from the transfer function, we are going to implement, or they have implemented this filter by realizing integrators out of this. So carefully look at how they have done that. So I'll be just doing certain certain rearrangements for this basic biquadratic transfer function, and we will get in the form of an integrator, like where we can implement using integrators, and then we will look at the architecture, right? So the very first thing what I will do is I'll write h of s again. Okay, so since this is a general transfer function, I'll implement by taking any one of the types. So either high pass, low pass, or band pass. So what I'll do is I'll just assume that B1 and B0 is equal to 0. When B1 and B0 is equal to 0, what we have is a second type. So I'll take this high pass filter transfer function and implement and see how we can get other responses of low pass and band pass as well. So by substituting this, I am taking h of s as b2 s square divided by s square plus omega naught by q into s plus omega naught square. Are you guys with me? Can I get some response in the chat? All right, yeah. So this is the, so again, I'm just repeating what we are going to do now is we are trying to understand what is this integrator based biquad, and this biquad is based on the biquadratic transfer function that we have seen here, which is written in blue color here. Now I'm taking a special case or a specific case of that, that is a high pass filter response by substituting B1 and B0 equal to 0. Now, again, I'm rearranging this equation. How I am rearranging is I'm just eliminating the s term in the numerator. So when I do that, this is equal to b2 divided by 1 plus omega naught by q into 1 by s, because in numerator there is an s. Along with omega naught there is an s, but when I bring the numerator s square down, it is in this fashion, and plus omega naught square into 1 by s square. This is what we have, right? So I have taken the transfer function and I'm just rearranging it by eliminating the s square term in the numerator. Now, if I look at this left hand side is h of s. H of s can be written as v out of s by v in of s. Now, as the name suggests, we are trying to get a relationship between V in and V out in the form of an expression, where we will know how I can implement or how I can get V out from V in. What I meant to say is, I'll just cross multiply this and I will write the expression as, so V out of S, I'm just cross multiplying, so it is V out of S plus V out of S into omega naught by Q into 1 by S plus V out of S into omega naught square into 1 by S square equal to, the other term what I have is B2 into V in of S, right? So now we have an equation there, we have V out terms and V in term. Now we will again rearrange in a slightly better way. So what I will do is, yeah, so let this be here. So what I will do is I'll write what is V out of S. What is V out of S from this? V out of S can be written as B2 into V in of S, and the other terms, terms I am bringing to the other side, to the right hand side. So I'm not taking V out as common from the three terms. Instead, I am keeping only V out of S term here and taking all other terms to the right hand side. So it is minus omega naught by Q into 1 by S into V out of S minus omega naught square into 1 by S square into V out of S. This is the expression what I have here. All right. So now we will be focusing on this expression only. Now, if you ask me the question, from where do you get this expression? This expression has straight away come from the biquadratic transfer function, in that I applied a special case of high pass filter by substituting B1 and B0 equal to 0. In the resulting transfer function, I just rearranged by removing the s square term from the numerator. The reason is because I just want to implement this based on integrator. Now, by cross multiplying and rearranging, we have arrived at this equation, right? Now, so can you tell me which term is having the integrator function here, or what do you understand by the term integration or integrator? How it transforms in S domain? Any background like from mathematics? How will you say that? So how integration function in time domain will be represented in S domain or frequency domain in Laplace? 1 by S, yes. So you can see that there is one term here. So you can see that there is a term here 1 by S. There is another term which is 1 by S square, right? So 1 by S means directly an integrator. So this shows that there is an integrator or there is an integration function. 1 by S square means it could be a cascade of two integration, right? So this can also be understood as integration as a cascade of two integrators, right? So what we will do now is, before seeing the actual implementation proposed by KHN, we will try to convert this into a signal flow graph, right? Are you aware about something called a signal flow graph? Okay, no problem. So signal flow graph is basically, we will pictorially represent the relation between input and output with the help of some elements like adders or multipliers or some specific blocks, right? So what I will do is, we have input at this point. Say for example, you have input at this point V in of S. I want to generate output, or I want to bring out the relationship between this input and output through I need to bring I want to bring the relationship between input and output of this expression, right? So what is V out of S? You can see that there are three terms. There are three terms here. The first term is this. The first term says that uh, um, there is a scaled version of input. B2 into V in of S means there is a scaled version of input available there. Then if you look at the second term, you can see that there is an integrated version of the output, and the third term you can see that there is a double integrated version of the output. Let me write each and everything here. The first term is actually scaled version of the input. Scaled version of input. So input is V in of S, the scaling factor is B2. Now the second term is an integrated version of the output. Integrated version of the output. That means there is 1 by S into V out of S, but still there is another factor there, omega naught by Q. Now the third term is doubly integrated version of the output. Doubly integrated version of output. Right. So with this understanding, I'll be drawing the signal flow graph by including all the required terms. So V in of S is here, and let the V out of S be here. Now V out of S is contributed, or you can say that V out of S is the sum of these three terms. So the first term is B2 into V in of S. So V in of S should be multiplied or scaled by something called as B2. So I'm just including a multiplier here. So the signal on this line is V in, and that is scaled by a factor of B2. So what is available here is B2 into V in of S. That is available here, right? Now, is that directly the output? No. To this, I need to add these two terms. The second and third term should be added. So how will I add the second and third term? Look at the second term. The second term is an integrated version of output. Along with that, you should add a factor of minus omega naught by Q. So what I will do is, this is my output point. Sorry. Yeah, this is my output point. From this output point, I'll actually pass this through an integrator. The integrator is 1 by S. So I'll provide this to this 1 by S. Along with that, that also should be scaled by minus omega naught by Q. So output is integrated and scaled by a factor of minus omega naught by q to get this, right? Now what I should do with this? This should be added to the B2 Vn of S term, right? So that means I need somehow I need a summer where I can add all the things together. So I'm actually keeping a summer. So output is coming from the output of the summer. So what are the inputs to this? One input is B2 into Vn of S. The second input is directly coming from here, which is minus omega naught by q into 1 by s into v out of s. There is one more term, that is a third term. How it will come? That is a result of two integrations. So one integration is already done. So what I will do is I'll take output from this integrator and I will provide to one more integrator here, right? So one more integrator is 1 by s. So I'll get 1 by s square term. But what should be the coefficient of 1 by s square term? It is only omega naught square. Now I have an omega naught here and q by q is an extra term. So that should be eliminated here. That means I should do something called as q into omega naught here. And this will be added to this summer. Is this clear? Is this setup clear, or is the signal flow graph clear? What I have done is I need to, so I can write output as a sum of three terms. The first term is directly the scaled version of input. There are two other terms which comes from output. One is an integrated version of the output. So that should be scaled by minus omega naught by q. And the second term is a doubly integrated version of the output, and that should be scaled by a factor of omega naught square. Since already omega naught by q is available here, I am just using other, like suitably I'm adding q and omega naught to get the exact term. But one thing you can observe, yeah, so a minus sign is coming from here, so that minus is available here also. All right, so I need to put plus sign all over here. So this is plus, and this is plus, so that V out of S will be the expression what is seen above. If you are clear, can I get a quick response in the chat by just putting S so that I can proceed further? So when you respond, I will just rewrite the terms here. So V out of S is equal to B2 into V in of S, that is the first term, minus omega naught by Q into 1 by S into V out of S, minus omega naught square into 1 by S square into V out of S. Only this much responses. All right. So now now we need to focus at these two terms, because we understood the equation. So where we started from the biquadratic equation. We rearranged and we obtained the signal flow graph where integrators were also brought into picture. Now we should see how this can be implemented, right? So finally we want this as a circuit. So how the circuit can be implemented is the next question. So how the circuit can be implemented? So I need two integrators. So how can you get an integrator? Like what is the way to get an integrator? An active integrator? Any thoughts?
By using op-amp, sir.
Yeah, by using op-amp, and we know that a simple integrator is, let me write it over here. You can get a simple integrator by having this function. So if you add a resistance here and a capacitor at this point, so the output here will be an integrated version of the input. This is what you already know. I'm not going to the details of that. So the next point is very important. We understood the transfer function, we understood the block level diagram, and now we are translating this into circuit level, right? So here I'm just marking this as a voltage Vx, and this I am marking it as a voltage Vy. The other one is directly V in, which is just scaled. So I'm just going to write V out of S as B2 into V in of S minus Vx and minus Vy, right? Now for some time I'll be thinking how I can implement Vx and Vy, or how I can bring in the function of Vx and Vy so that I can build the entire integrator, right? So can you roughly see that one integrator is required to implement 1 by S, as I mentioned here. That means if you have doubly integrated version of output, you need two integrators. That means two op amps are required, right? Apart from that, you need to add these three things here, because there is a direct integration, there is a double integration, and there is a scaling of your input. That means a summer is also required to sum up all these three things together. So that means from the signal flow graph, signal flow diagram itself, you can say that you may need three op amps here. Three op amps. Why three op amps? One for one integrator, the second one for the second integrator, and the third one is actually to implement the summer. This is what we should understand from this. Are you guys with me? Can I get a response in the chat? Okay. Now, what I will do first is, since I know that in order to implement an integrate or an integration function is obtained as this, what I have shown before, let me start doing that. So if this is V in and this is V out, with this as say C1 and this as say R1, we can say that how I can write V out as a function of V in, because we know that this is an inverting amplifier configuration, assuming ideal as op amp as ideal. The Virchow-Lenz property here, I can say this is the transfer function is just the expression or the gain expression of an inverting amplifier, feedback impedance by input impedance. So it is minus feedback impedance is 1 by SC1 divided by input impedance is R1. So output and input are related as 1 by S into C1 into R1. This is how it is, right? So what I will do next is I will see how I can implement Vx. So what is Vx here? From the previous expression, Vx is equal to, I will rewrite that Vx here, Vx is equal to minus omega naught by Q into 1 by S into V out of S, right? So Vx is that, what is Vx? Minus omega naught by Q into 1 by S into V out of S. All right. So in order to implement this, I'm writing again one op amp minus plus. Here a resistance. What I will connect here is I need the input, but in order for this specific function, what is the input? The input is actually the function of V out of S, and we have the capacitor in the feedback, and this is Vx, right? So how this Vx and V out of S are related? Are you guys with me? Vx can be written as minus 1 by S into R1 C1 into V out of S, right? Is this clear? So Vx and V out are related in this form, and we have implemented the integration function. Now for this omega naught and Q, we have the corresponding circuit elements R and C, so that can be adjusted later. Is this clear? Vx part. Quickly please respond so that I'll be able to proceed. All right. So I'm getting responses from very few people, even though I can see 40 members here. Okay, so what is it? So this is step one. I would say this is step one where I implemented Vx. Now the step two is to implement Vy. What is Vy of S? Vy of S can be written as from our previous expression. Vy of S can be written as omega naught square into 1 by S square into V out of S. So it is minus of omega naught square into 1 by S square into V out of S, right? So again, if I bring in the integrator, what we have taken before, minus plus, this is ground, this is another resistance and another capacitance. So since R1 and C1 I have used, I'll call this as R2 and C2, and the input of this is again, yeah. So the input of this is, yeah, if you look at this, what I need is Vy of S is equal to minus omega naught square into 1 by S square into V out of S. But how did we implement here in the block level? In the block level, we have taken the output, or if I write here, this is basically we are getting Vx here and we are getting Vy here, isn't it? So in block level, how I implemented is Vx is provided to one more integrator to generate Vy, right? So in the same way I will do, uh, even though the function is this, I'll be implementing, I'll be getting Vy of s, but I'll not be feeding V out here. What I will feed here is Vx here. Is that clear? That means what I will get here is Vy is equal to minus 1 by R2C2S into Vx. Or when I write this further, or when I bring in Vx here, it can be written as minus 1 by R2C2S into Vx is again, what is Vx? Again, yeah, it is minus 1 by R1C1S into V out of S. Is that okay? Or I will write Vy as V out divided by S square into R1 C1 R2 C2. Are you guys with me? Yeah. So if you look at this, Vx is directly, there is a minus there, but in Vy it is a plus, right? So that difference, because ultimately when I look at the block level diagram, I need to add all these three, and the magnitude should be, see, Vx there is a minus n, but in Vy there is no minus n, though that need to be taken care, and that is easy to take care because we have op amps. When we add it, we can use either inverting or non-inverting terminal in order to match it if at all there is a negative sign difference, right? If step 1 and step 2, how we implemented Vx and Vy, if it is clear, I can proceed further. So for that, I'll write again the V out S expression, which is a scaled version of input minus Vx minus Vy, right? I'll again bring Vx here. So how I have implemented Vx is equal to minus 1 by S R1 C1 into V out of S, and Vy was implemented as in the previous slide 1 by S square into R1 C1 R2 C2 into V out of S. This is how I implemented, right? Now what I need is, so one minus sign is, if you look at Vx, yes, directly I have this minus sign. That means that I need to retain that, right? But if you look at Vy, a minus sign is there, but what is that really required? If you look at, can we look at the block level thing? Yeah. So Vx, a minus sign is coming in, but in Vy, yeah, Vy, that minus sign is actually retaining, but that is not really required. So what I can do is I can feed in, since we have these three, I can feed in these two terms. So if I want to add, I need to add all these three things together using an op amp. So I can give either to the inverting terminal of the op amp or to the non-inverting terminal of the op amp. So what I will do is I'll give these two to the non-inverting terminal, and the third one, this Vy, to the inverting terminal in order to match with the sign requirements, right? So let me draw that summer here first. So I have minus and plus. Now what I need here, say, so I need to add Vy to the non-inverting terminal. So how will I add that? So I need a summer. So basically I can implement a summer using this method. So I will add Vy here. So the resistors already used are R1 and R2. So I'll use R3 here just to connect this Vy. Now Vx is directly connected to the non-inverting terminal, right? So non-inverting is here. So I'll use another resistance. I'll call it as R4, and this I call it as Vx. And again, I need to connect input also. So I'll connect V in input here. Vx I'll connect here. I'll call this as R5 and this as R6, and this is the V out. Right. So what you are seeing on the screen now is only the adder. Now I should use other two op amps such that Vy and Vx can be generated out of that, and those two, the outputs from those two integrators should be fed back to this. So this is only the adder. In the block level diagram, I have used one adder, and that adder had three inputs. One is from V in, B2 into V in of S, and another one here as Vy, and another one here as Vx. That is what you are seeing on the screen now. Any questions on this? Any questions? Is this clear? Can I get some response? Yeah. So if you can see that Vy, there is no negative sign because it is going through two integrators. In order to retain that negative sign, Vy is directly connected to the non-inverting terminal because that is required. But for the other thing, I am directly connecting to the non-inverting terminal. Right. Now, let me write what is V out here as a function of V in, Vx and Vy. How will I do that? You have three inputs and there is one output. So if you want to, you can definitely apply superposition principle. So give one input at a time and write the contribution at the output, and at the end you can add everything together. So how will I write? Say for example, you want to know what, like if you want to know how the V in will come out of this V out, I'll just short Vy and Vx. So if I short Vy and Vx, can you tell me what is V out? V out will be any thoughts? So I want to write what is V out in terms of, or can you write the output of the summer by considering all these three inputs? How will you write? Okay, I'll consider one by one. First, I'll write the, I'll consider only Vy. When I consider only Vy, V in and Vx will be shorted. So I can say V out is equal to minus R6 by R3 into Vy. That time other two terminals are shorted. V in and Vx are shorted. Now when I consider only V in, I can say V out is equal to, then when I consider V in, this becomes a non-inverting amplifier. For a non-inverting amplifier, the gain expression is 1 plus R6 by R3 into the voltage coming at this point. What is the voltage coming at this point? Since Vx is, so when I am considering Vy, V in and Vx are shorted to 0. When I am considering V in, Vy and Vx are shorted to 0. Since Vx is shorted to 0, what I will get is a voltage divider, right? So when your Vx is equal to 0, when Vx is equal to 0, the circuit will become like this. This is R4, this is R5, this is V in, and this is the plus terminal of the op amp, right? So what is the voltage coming here? Voltage coming there is equal to V in into R5 by R4 plus R5. That is my V out. Is that clear? If there are any questions, please ask in between. Now, third, if I am considering only Vx, I need to short Vy and V in to 0. And when I do that, I can write V out as the same way. 1 plus R6 by R3 into Vx into R4 by R4 plus R5. Right. So in that case, what I'll do is now I'll write the V out together. So first is, I know that V out can be written as a function of B2 into V in of S. So what is B2 in this case? The coefficient of V in. The coefficient of V in is, yes, it is 1 plus R6 by R3 into R5 by R4 plus R5 plus Vx into Vx, the coefficient of Vx is, yeah, again the same thing. So it is 1 plus R6 by R3 into R4 divided by R4 plus R5. This is Vx plus Vy into the coefficient is minus R6 by R3. This is the V out expression. Now, if you compare this with the V out expression we had in the beginning, which is B2 into V in of S minus omega naught by Q into 1 by S into V out of S. minus omega naught square by 1 by s square into V out of s. This is what we have. Right. Now, we have the summer here. Now, if I want to draw the complete diagram, what I should do is, there are small modifications. So what I will do is I'll start with the first integrator. What is the first integrator here? I'll draw the integrator here. This is minus and plus. Plus is grounded to minus. I have the first resistance whose value is R1. Now this is C1. And what should be provided to this? So the first integrator means what you will get is Vx. So 2 slides back we have seen the first integrator is will give you Vx. So V out should come as at this point. So from where V out will come? V out will come from the summer. This is the summer, right? V out will come from the summer. This is the summer. Now the summer output should come to this, the first integrator, and you will get output here. Now the output of first integrator should actually go to the second integrator. So the second integrator is here, minus plus, and this is R2 and this is C2. So Vx is going to the second integrator, and what you will get here is Vy. Now what I should do? Now I need to add this Vx, Vy and the input, the scale version of input to one more op-amp that will give you the summer. That is the summer. So I'm just going to draw the summer here. So to the summer, you need to add. So if I look at the summer, to the plus input there are two things. To the minus input there is Vy is coming at the minus input, right? So let me draw the minus input here and plus input here. So what is coming to the minus input? The minus input of the summer is having Vy, right? So from where Vy will come? Vy should come from here. So Vy should come from this point. And how can I connect it here? I should connect it here through a resistance. Right. So what is that resistance value? Vy is coming to the input through a resistance R3. So this is called as R3. Right. Now what is rest? I should get Vin as well as Vx through two resistors R4 and R5. So one is R4, I will directly connect here. That will give you Vin. Then to the same point, I should connect Vx through another resistance, which is R5. So this should actually go to this terminal. Right. Now we have one more component R6, which is in the feedback from minus to output. So that also I need to connect here. This is R6. So this is your final V out. This is V in, this is Vx, and this is Vy. And this is called as KHN biquad, where a second order filter, active filter, is realized using integrators. There are two integrators to generate Vx and Vy, and there is one more integrator to generate or to bring all the one more integrator to sum up all the inputs. Is this clear? Can I get response? Maybe you will take a little more time to understand when you go through again. So let me just revise it here itself. So we started with the transfer function, biquadratic transfer function. We substituted B0 and B1 equal to 0, and we got high pass filter. We rearranged the expression, and we got this the expression what is seen in red. Then what we did, the same expression, whatever we have written here, we left V out on left side and have taken all the other components to the right side, and observed that there are two integrations coming. One is a single integration to the output. The other one is a double integration to the output. So with those three terms, we realized the signal flow graph, where we saw that input should be scaled and then added to other two terms. The other two terms are Vx and Vy. That should be realized by suitable blocks. Then our next attempt was to find what is Vx and Vy and how we can implement it. So finally, we need an op-amp to add up or sum up all these inputs. So first what we did is we saw how an integrator can be implemented, and we saw how to implement Vx and Vy separately. So after implementing Vx and Vy separately, what we need is a summer where we can add input Vx and Vy. So we wrote this expression and we saw that in Vy, uh, in Vx and input there is no inversion required because it is already directly taken from the output of integrator. But for Vy, we need to retain the minus sign. As it has passed through two integrators, the minus sign is not there. So that is why we are connecting Vy to the inverting input and Vx and V into the non-inverting input. And then we realize the summer, and with the summer we wrote the expression for output, and we saw that how Vx, Vy and Vin are scaled at the summer. After understanding the summer, we have come back to the final expression. So where we could see that the integrator output, the first integrator, the second integrator and the input are directly added to the summer and scale accordingly to get this final expression, the final circuit diagram. Is this clear? Any questions? All right, yeah, that is a good question. So the big advantage of this is if you look at Sallen-Key filter, you have only one op amp, and you can change the components and you can get it. Now the advantage of this is here you have written no. How will you get the high pass filter response in this? We should take output from this point, right? If I take output from this point, you will get high pass response. Now if you take output from this point Vx, or if you take output from Vy, you will also get the other two responses. What are the other two responses? You will get a band pass filter response, and you will also get a low pass filter response from the other two inputs that we will see shortly. So that the biggest advantage is with this single KHN biquad, you can realize both low pass, high pass and band pass filters. That is the biggest advantage. Is that clear? I'll show how it is. Okay, let's come to that. So let me write the final V. I think, yeah, I have written the final V out expression, and from this V out expression, you can make out that this term, what you have here, the coefficient of V in, this is your B1 term. Then whatever coefficient you have here, maybe we need to include the capacitor terms also here. No, I think that I missed that. It is still written in terms of Vx. Let me write in terms of V in. So you can see that this is in terms of Vx and this is Vy. Let me write in terms of V in itself there. Sorry, V out itself. So I can write V out as V in into R5 by R4 plus R5 into 1 plus R6 by R3. That I have directly taken from this. Now plus, instead of writing it as Vx, I will bring in this relation. What is the relation? The relation between Vx and V out. So in place of Vx, I will write it as minus 1 by S R1 C1 into the rest of the thing. So I'll write it here as minus 1 by S R1 C1 into, then you have that term, scaling term R4 by R4 plus R5 into, if you look at that, one more, 1 plus R6 by R3, this into V out, minus, again the last term here is, you have R6 by R3, but that should be multiplied by the second integer, that is R1 C1 R2 C2 into S square into V out. So this is the expression, and if you now you can straight away you can compare. So this term is your B1, and whatever term you have here, all these scaling things. No? This is your omega naught by Q. S will be there. S is there already in the expression, and the rest of the things here. This is your omega naught square. Right. So this is how you should relate. Now quickly I will tell. So to get high pass filter, what you need to do is you need to take V out by V in of S. Now what will you get, like what is this Vx by V in? How can I, so Vx by V in is nothing but the output of the second filter, right? So second op amp, which is the output is Vx and the input is V in only. So what is this Vx by V in? Vx by V in can be written as Vx by V out into V out by Vin. Right. If you look at the expression, I'll quickly do that. Vx by Vin can be written as what is Vx by Vout? Vx by Vout is minus 1 by S into R1 into C1 from the previous expression. Into what is Vout by Vin? Whatever we have taken now, which is B2 S square divided by S square plus omega naught by Q into S plus omega naught square. If you look at this, it is same as B2 S square divided by R1 C1 into S square plus omega naught by Q into S plus omega naught square. Sorry, B2S, there is no square, by S will be cancelled. What is this? What is this transfer function? Look at our first discussion. When you have B2, when you have B1 of S, it is nothing but a band pass filter. So this is your band pass filter response. Right. Similarly, if you look for Vy by Vin, what is Vy by Vin? It can be written as Vy by Vout into Vout by Vin. There, if I write what is Vy by Vout, if I write it is R1 C1, R2 C2 into S square into B2 S square divided by S square plus omega naught by Q plus omega naught square. This will again result in, you will get the S square term will get cancelled and you will have only one constant coefficient in the numerator. So that will give you a low pass filter response. So that is the advantage of KHN. You have all the filters, all the responses like low pass, high pass, and band pass are together available if you are able to implement this. But at the cost of having multiple op amps, then also you need to look at the poles and other conditions of the stability of the circuit that also need to be checked thoroughly before we go and implement this, right? So this is all about KHN biquad. So I'll be winding up now, and if you have any questions, you can ask it now.